the game's top talent.
I don't remember a time where you had this much firepower throughout the whole lineup.
Playing for their country.
Everything's kind of amplified.
Of course, it's a dream come true.
The players want to play best on best. They want to test themselves.
In the Four Nations face-off.
I can't imagine you'll find a better hockey game anywhere.
Four really, really good teams, all loaded with great players.
As a player, I'm so excited, and fans, we can only imagine, are evenly excited.
And here we go. The Four Nations face-off is quickly approaching. The captains were just recently announced. Victor Hedman for Sweden, Alexander Barkov for Finland, Sidney Crosby representing Canada, and Austin Matthews for Team USA. Sidney Crosby and Austin Matthews spoke about the honor.
It's an honor, to be honest with you. I think that when you're part of groups like this, you appreciate the fact that there's a lot of guys who are captains or assistant captains on their own clubs. There's no shortage of leadership whatsoever, but I think, just the responsibility and just, being part of that group is something I'm excited for, especially in this scenario too, where, it's a lot of new guys. I think that's something that, we've got a lot of guys who are excited, but also that's something that we can build right away. So, I'm excited for that.
I mean, it's a huge honor, obviously. Just to be able to represent your country is, pretty special. But, to have the honor of wearing the C is, it's exciting. It's definitely not lost on me, the amount of leaders that are already on this team, guys that, maybe wear letters for their respective clubs. But, it's definitely something that's, not taken for granted. I mean, it's pretty special.
Very special, with the pride of the respective nations on the line, as we welcome you into the NHL Network studios. Lauren Gardner alongside Brian Boyle, Kevin Weeks, and fellas, what a big 2 weeks quickly approaching. Boiler, fun fact, were you the only player to play with all four captains?
I know I played with them all. I'm pretty excited about that. And then we found out research last night during NHL Tonight that I guess I was the only one
that's cool.
Got to play with all of them.
I love
so
that.
Cool.
I guess. What's there? I guess you didn't want a scratchy. You earned it.
Exactly.
That's awesome stuff.
No, it was cool getting to play with those guys,
Yeah.
and learning from those guys, and just being around. I mean, obviously excellence in terms of what they could do on the ice, and as people, they're excellent people too. That's why they're leaders on their teams. That's why they're leaders now for their country in this huge event.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's right. All of them, all four of them, and that's great to see for all these guys, especially in a younger case like Austin Matthews. This is a big opportunity for him. Global stage. A lot of the players that I've spoken to, including him, all want best on best. They've all wanted best on best. So no better opportunity for best on best than to be able to represent your country and be the captain for your national club.
Going to be
awesome.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Austin Matthews, the only captain without a Stanley Cup ring, which
Yeah,
is kind of
there.
hard to wrap your head around. But Kevin Weeks, when you take a look at Team USA, especially in the goalie room, seems to be their strength. What do you see?
Yeah, they're stacked. They're stacked in net. If you really look at it across the board here, from left to right, these are great options. And Connor Hellebuck, who's already won 2 Vezinas, he's on track for a 3rd Vezina. Jake Ottinger has been outstanding of late as well. Minnesota native Jake Ottinger has been tremendous in Dallas. And Jeremy Swayman in Boston, he's not necessarily having his banner season, but he knows I've been bullish on him. He's been an all-star. He's got a great future in the league. So I don't know, Boiler, you can spin this any way, but they're absolutely blessed by the guys on the board and others that aren't even on the board.
Exactly. There is a lot of depth there, but it's different at that position because you can have all the depth you want at that position. And I'm not trying to throw cold water on anything for Team USA, and everybody knows where my loyalty lies during this tournament. But if a goalie has an off night, you can't just pick him up with another shift. Your second line can't go out and get him. It's one guy in net, and only one goalie can play at a time. They have options, definitely. They have elite goaltending for sure and a lot of depth. But at that position in particular, in a short tournament like this, they have to be on the ball ready right away.
No
They
doubt.
most definitely do. And some very young talent on Team USA as we spin it forward to Team Canada. Stars galore, especially Weeksy. When you take a look at those forwards, it's all stars.
All stars, a lot of game
Ridiculous.
breakers. Yeah, a lot of game breakers for sure. And don't sleep on Reinhart in the last 2 years that he's had, this year included, already at the 30-goal mark. North of 50 last year, Stanley Cup last year. There's just a lot of game breakers here, but also what I like, Boilers, there's a lot of versatile pieces as well. Braden Point can play any role, and he's an elite player. Sorelli as well, his teammate down at Konecny in Philly, and Sam Bennett brings some nice sandpaper too.
Well, I really think he can mix and match. I like how they fit. I like how the puzzle pieces fit in terms of what you need for a team. There's plenty of star power and talent on every line. Every line can hurt you. But I just like the mix. There's different types of players. Obviously, there's plenty of game breakers for every team.
Sure.
But this Canadian team, and I think Mike Rupp said it yesterday, they might have the 4 best players in the tournament. They have certainly 3 of the best forwards in the world currently, and then one that's maybe one of the best of all time, it's Sid. But you can't sleep on Canada. And don't for a second think that they're not listening to the rhetoric going out that
Team USA
Team
is
USA
favorites.
is now supplanted them. They're ahead of them now. They have more talent. We are now listen, these guys have a lot of championships. They have a lot of pride.
Sure.
And I think they're built really well. It's going to be a fantastic tournament.
It feels ridiculous saying those scrappy Team Canada guys out there just trying to get it done. You can check out Four Nations at Face-Off opening games at Bell Center in Montreal. Canada versus Sweden on Wednesday, February 12th on TNT Sportsnet. And of course, TVA, now United States versus Finland, will be the following day, the 13th, on the same networks, including, though, ESPN. Be sure to check it out. It's going to be fun.
Yes.
2 weeks, nonstop action of the best stars on the ice. Can't wait.